Hey, this is an interesting time in wrestling here, Tony. 1989, of course, is when we're starting to see what WCW is really all about. Of course, Jim Crockett Promotions has sold to Ted Turner. There's a new organization here, and well, there's going to be a new top down with Jim Herd leading the charge. When did you know? Hey, I got to get the hell out of here. I got to get to Vince. Like, was there a straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak, for you?
No, there was not. And unlike, I think that I had read or had heard that Meltzer had reported that uh, JR being the lead announcer made me want to go somewhere else. That is not the case. I was happy and living in Charlotte. We had bought a house in Charlotte, and I had just JJ called me and said, I'm going up here, and I'm going. And Vince said he said I asked Vince if is there anybody else the W at NWA WCW you'd like for me to talk to. He said, yeah, Tony Schiavone. So he said, do you want to hear from Vince? I said, I sure do. And I never will forget, I was on the roof of the freaking house uh, and doing some work like an idiot. And Lois says, you got Vince McMahon on the phone. And so got down the roof. He asked me what I was making. I told him. He offered me $40,000 more a year. So I said, okay, I'll take it. And because I didn't have a contract with Jim Crockett Promotions, nor had I signed a contract with Turner. I went back and said, told Jim Herd, I said, Vince has offered me something. And Herd said, well, then we're letting you go right now. I called Vince back and I said, I have been fired by WCW. Or Jim Herd, he said, well, then you're on the payroll today. He put me on the payroll that day, and I went up there and had a great year in my career. So there wasn't anything that made me go up there with the exception of knowing that Herd was a fucking idiot. And it all worked out for me for a year. And then, my God, well, it ended up being a good move back, really, when it's all said and done, years and years later. But it was not easy then.
Tony, was it hard, being a guy who grew up in the South? Was it hard living in the Northeast?
Yeah, I think so. Lois didn't like it. The we couldn't afford to buy a house because of it's much more expensive to live up in Connecticut. And we lived outside of Norwalk, and I didn't mind it. I really enjoyed my job, but Lois didn't like it because all of her friends and her mom and all of her family were back here, and she said, "I just don't think it's working out for us here." And then Jim Barnett called me, and like an idiot, I said, "Okay, I'll listen." And then they offered me a lot more money to come back, and I met them at the Grand Hyatt downtown New York City. And I remember the meeting in that hotel room with Jim Barnett and Jim Herd and myself. And I remember Jim Herd telling me his feelings about we need more characters in wrestling that are history based. And we need like a Long John Silver who has a peg leg and he unscrews his leg, hits a guy over the head with it, and screws it back on before the referee sees it. And a hunchback where, you can't really pin him because of his hunch on his back. And I remember thinking, do I really fucking want to do this? Oh my God, is it worth it? And at the time, it wasn't. The money was, and Lois thought it was pretty good, but she was going to let me make the decision. So I made the decision to come back. And of course, when I came back, I immediately wanted to kill myself. And really was depressed. But we moved in 1990 to this house that I'm in right now. We've been here ever since. We've hung in there, and here we are in 2025. So that's the short version, I guess.
And we know you're going to have fun with us. It's on YouTube. It's also on Peacock. We're talking Saturday night's main event from May 27th, 1989. Tony, I'm locked and loaded on my side. Are you ready on your side?
Here we go. Cassio, give us a countdown, brother.
17, 16.
From 5. How about it?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Cassio, why did you start counting down from 18? Is there something you got to tell us?
No.
You did start a countdown from 18, bud. Is there
I don't know how
paperwork
long.
involved in our friendship now, or what is it?
Sometimes it takes a while for me to click around when I listen to these, so I was going to give them a little bit more landing strip there.
Landing strip alone.
Man, landing strip. Listen to this.
Yeah. Okay. Look how
Hey, by the
Hogan
way,
it is all oiled up, brother. My God.
hey, Tony, I know there's almost no chance of this, but I got to ask anyway. Any chance you saw Saturday night's main event this past Saturday night?
No, I did not.
Have you heard about Jesse the Body Ventura's performance?
So good.
I have not, but it's got to be a great story.
Well, here's what you'll love. There was a cage match between two competitors named Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre.
All right.
And Damian Priest walked out of the door of the cage. He walked out.
Uh-huh.
And Jesse the Body Ventura was incredulous at the idea that this was possible. I mean, he pressed it to an uncomfortable degree to the point where Michael Cole multiple times had to say, that's the rules, Jesse. That's how you win a cage match here in the WWE. Mm-hmm. And he would not let it go. Like, after replays and everything, he's still talking about it. Like, why doesn't he just get his limo driver to just drive right up and open the cage door then and just have him get right out? So anyway, I'm saying all that because we're about to watch a cage match here in 1989. Now, this is not the fence cage that we're familiar with now. This is the old Big Blue cage, the iconic cage of the World Wrestling Federation. It is a rematch from the one we've already seen with Madison Square Garden. So it's Big Boss Man and it's Hulk Hogan. But there's 2 points in the match where the door becomes a big part of it. And Jesse is all over commentary, acknowledging that and talking about it and saying it what a genius strategy it is. But all these years later, 36 years later, old Jesse has forgotten that, oh, yeah, heels are supposed to just walk out the door because it's chicken shit.
Oh, well, there you go. Jesse going into business for himself, as they would say.
SaveWithConrad.com.
Yeah, I'm Justin Bruckman from Knoxville, Tennessee. What got me to Save with Conrad was the 83 Weeks podcast. I really wasn't thinking about getting rid of any debt. I just wanted to cash out some equity in the house to do remodeling. But I did both, so that was pretty awesome. Worked out great. Redid the foyer, built pantry space, and there was little odds and ends when I first bought the house that I wanted to take care of, and we were able to take care of it. So, yeah, paid off 2 cars and some credit card debt. So probably all in all, getting $30,000 in that, and then I got some $30,000 more equity out of the house, and still plenty of equity left over. So payment's good. I lowered my interest rate. I'm in a much better spot than I was. Super easy. Everybody was great. Very, very awesome people. Francis and Steve were great to work with. They were awesome. Made it to a very easy, seamless experience. I'd probably say all in all, probably $1,000 a month at least. I lowered my interest rate, especially the way the interest rates are right now, which is, that's amazing. I'm Justin Bruckman from Knoxville, Tennessee. I saved over $1,000 with SaveWithConrad.com, and I did a lot of renovations with that money as well.
NMLS number 2129, Equal Housing Lender. SaveWithConrad.com.